inside a jail in Kashmir's Baramulla, instigating unrest in the state. The clue to the network came after 14 cell phones were seized from the district jail after police carried out a major crackdown in the district jail. 2 phones have been recovered from top separatist leader Masrat Alam, who was in touch with Pakistan via WhatsApp. Phones have been sent for further forensic examinations.
और सर्च के दौरान हमें 14 मोबाइल फोन्स वहाँ से रिकवर हुए और कुछ इंप्लीमेंटिंग मटेरियल भी बरामद हुआ और मोस्टली ये जो चीज़ें हैं जो कम्युनिकेशन डिवाइस है उन लोगों से बरामद हुई हैं जो स्टूल पेल्टिंग या इसके इन्वेस्टिगेशन में या मिलिटेंट एक्टिविटीज़ में इन्वॉल्व थे। अब इन मोबाइल फोन्स को हम मोबाइल फॉरेंसिक एनालिसिस के लिए भेज रहे हैं और एफआईआर ऑलरेडी लगा हुआ है इसमें और इन्वेस्टिगेशन के दौरान पता चल जाएगा कि किस किस्म की गतिविधियों के लिए ये जो मोबाइल फोन्स है इस्तेमाल हो रहे थे।
Let's go across to my colleague Arish Bilal joining us with further information. Morning Arish, we're looking at how a major network has been busted from inside the jail premises. News is that these cell phones and contacts, the people were in touch with some people in Pakistan.
That's absolutely right. Not only that, but the crackdown was launched after the military got into the release of fishing against civilians in Baramulla district. And when we started investigating, it was found that some separatist leaders which had military against and some of them also in the jail because of the protesting in cases. So a massive crackdown was launched in the district of Baramulla yesterday, while the joint operation conducted by the recovered and 2 of them from the separatist Masrat Alam. During the scanning of these mobile phones, has established that some of the jail inmates were in touch with their Pakistan handlers through WhatsApp. And as I mentioned, that the phones now have been forwarded.
Okay.
To establish what exactly were the jail inmates doing with these phones and what were their contacts with the outside world. Also, we are
okay. This is the proof, isn't it, Arish, to show that how Pakistan continues to meddle with affairs here in India. But at the same time, several questions will also be raised, isn't it, Arish, on how is it that in the first place these mobile phones would actually reach these separatist leaders. This also seems to be a case of a massive security lapse. While of course the police have recovered these cell phones now, a lot more needs to be done to try and safeguard the jail itself.
The police, the Baramulla police has already registered an FIR against 10 to 12 jail inmates from whom the phones have been recovered. Also, we are being told
that probe has also been launched against some officials of the jail, district Baramulla jail, Baramulla, as how the cell phones found their way into the jail, because this is against the jail manual and the jail inmates are not supposed to have cell phones. So yes, that's a separate probe going on against the jail authorities, and it would be found whether some jail officials are involved in smuggling the cell phones inside the jail premises.
But this is it. This is where exactly from where we're looking at the unrest that continues to grow in the valley, coming in from inside the jail where 14 cell phones have been recovered, and none other than the separatist leader Masrat Alam himself. This is the proof that how Pakistan continues to meddle, provoke and instigate these people, because of which we're looking at stone pelters there in the Kashmir Valley. Stay with us, please, Arish. We have Colonel Singh also joining us over the telephone line. Good morning, Colonel Singh. Your first thoughts on this major crackdown that has been busted by the police inside the jail premises in Baramulla?
See, at the first sight, it is definitely a very shocking thing to happen, to come to light, that such a sensitive matter, and these are sensitive prisoners. They are holding on to cell phones with internet connectivity. That goes to say that they are in touch with people in the valley and across the line of control the other side. And probably they are somewhere into the matrix of planning and execution of unrest in the valley. Having said that, it is very easy to blame everyone, but we should look inwards as well. Our system is so weak that I can bet that there would be no jail in this country which would be flouting such rules for some little amount of money. I am very sure people are willing to look down.
But Colonel Tanveer Singh, this being a jail in Jammu and Kashmir and looking at what continues to happen in the state, one would imagine that there should be extra security efforts being put in to try and safeguard at least where the jail itself is concerned, sir.
Absolutely, there is no doubt about it. That is why it becomes a more shocking a case. Apart from other things, the jail officials should be hauled up and somebody should be held accountable and answerable. This kind of a thing is not at all permitted, and it should not be permitted. You are absolutely right, and it is very sad. More details should emerge after investigation and interrogation when it will take place of these people that whom all they were in contact with, and the forensics will reveal a lot of good stories. If they follow up in the right manner, probably it will assist in cracking down the chain that leads to stone pelting and other kind of ritual unrest that takes place on these
Right.
days.
And not just with stone pelters, Colonel Singh, you would agree that this will also actually expose the entire link where Pakistan continues to destabilize the state, isn't it? Because we all, NewsX, have also recently come up with a story that shows that at least rupees 1,000 crore by ISI is spent to try and make sure that Kashmir remains on the board. And this is one such example of how they are spending that money of trying to penetrate inside the system and make sure that there is unrest that continues, Colonel Singh.
Absolutely, you are absolutely right. And to focus specifically on this cell phone issue, the technology is there. We can always keep jammers in the jail with jams, such sensitive jails, which can jam mobile and internet connectivity. So there has to be a technological overlay other than the physical checks and the various other countermeasures that can be put in place. So that's what I feel. And yes, as far as Pakistan is concerned,
Yes.
it is their lifeline. They say that Kashmir is the jugular vein.
Absolutely.
So they will not leave any stone unturned to ensure that the valley continues to simmer and boil.
Indeed. Colonel Danveer Singh, thank you very much for speaking with us here on NewsX, giving us your perspective on this big catch there coming in from Baramulla jail in Kashmir. Let me also bring in Colonel Jayavant Singh joining us over the telephone line, defense expert. Colonel Jayavant Singh, your first thoughts and your assessment of this case where we're looking at a major network that has been busted. It is separatist leaders like Masrat Alam who were using cell phones. Total 14 cell phones from inside the jail have been recovered, drawing links to Pakistan and also the stone pelters in the valley.
Yes, this is a very, very serious matter indeed, and it is definitely a security lapse. When the state administration and the Baramulla jail knew that a person as high-profile a terrorist like Masrat Alam is there in the jail, they should have been much, much more vigilant than what they have been. And I would also like to say that there might be some complicity of certain jail officials in this, into which the government has to carry out a very detailed inquiry.
Right, that of course is going on. That of course is going on, sir. There are investigations that are being carried out on how is it in the first place that these cell phones actually reached inside the prison and these separatist leaders and several other people had these cell phones. So that investigation is on right now as we speak.
And otherwise, I mean, a thing like this is rather expected in the manner in which the fight against righteousness and terrorism in the Kashmir Valley is unfolding. Every time the government is taking a development initiative, it gives a impetus to the separatist and divisive forces to come up with new and innovative methods to maintain the status quo ante over there and to keep a control over the population. So this is almost a battle of life and death in which the separatist elements and our friends across the border are going to do everything in their power to keep the valley, the population in the valley suppressed.
Okay.
So therefore, we have to be ready for all these things.
Okay, Colonel Jayavant Singh, request you to please stay with us. I want to quickly go across to my colleague Arish as well, joining us with further details. Arish, we understand that 14 cell phones that have been recovered. What else is the police really sharing with us? Anything else that we have in our notice that was recovered from these people inside the jail?
There are some also incriminating documents that have been recovered from the jail inmates, and this is mostly the separatist literature that was being used by the people who are there, the separatist leaders who are inside the jail. And the police has also established contact with some of the jail inmates, those were having with the stone pelters, because there has been a spike in the stone pelting incidents across the Kashmir Valley in the recent past. And as I pointed out earlier as well, that some of the separatist leaders, they were using these phones to establish their contact with the Pakistani handlers through social media. And there are some smartphones that have been seized by the police, and definitely they were using the social media and were acting as a bridge between their handlers in Pakistan and also the protesters just outside the jail premises. So this is the preliminary investigation. These are the links that has been established by the police in the preliminary investigation. And as I pointed out, an FIR has already been registered against 12 jail inmates. And the police right now is trying to establish if some of the jail officials could be involved in all this activity, the smuggling of the phones inside the jail.
Okay, 12 people under the scanner as well with the FIR. They're being launched, as you're telling us, Arish. But in terms of the next course of action, one would imagine the police will now also go ahead and take a closer look at those people who were they were in contact with outside in the valley, who were trying to recruit further youth to have the stone pelting take place over there. One would imagine that these cell phone networks, the contact, the details on these cell phones will give us further information on who those people are, those handlers are in the valley.
Well, that's absolutely right. In fact, all the phones have been forwarded to the forensic lab for forensic tests, and each number in those phones is going to be scanned, and all the activities on every phone is going to be scanned. And the WhatsApp message, every message is going through by the Baramulla police and other investigating agencies. Those are involved in this case. So every number, every phone, every book that has been seized from the jail inmates yesterday, everything is going to be scanned. And the police is trying to establish the external contacts of these separatists who are right now jailed in the Baramulla district jail, and what kind of activities they were involved in. Remember, these separatists and the militants who are lodged in the Baramulla jail, they have many cases registered against them, and the fresh expose, the recovery of cell phones from them, and also the separatist literature recovered from them is definitely establishing their link with their Pakistan handlers and their outside supporters.
Okay, Arish, request you to stay with us. We'll take a listen into how Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh also spoke on this issue, on how social media is being misused by the terrorists, and this is yet another example coming to light. Let's take a listen in.
Different applications के द्वारा मैसेज दिया जाता है गांव-गांव तक, फला जगह ऑपरेशन चल रहा है, वहां पर नौजवानों को पहुंचना चाहिए। और यह ग्रुप्स यदि बैठे हुए हैं सोशल मीडिया का एप्लीकेशन करने वाले, वो भी पाकिस्तान में बैठे हैं।
There you heard Home Minister Rajnath Singh exactly exposing this modus operandi of these separatist leaders as well as terrorists, saying that it is social media that is being misused. And this is the example, Arish, where 14 cell phones have been recovered from inside the jail premises in Baramulla in Kashmir. It is being said that it is the application WhatsApp through which communication was being established with the Pakistani handlers as well as stone pelters in the valley. This also goes to expose how Pakistan continues to bleed India, and the fact that 1,000 crore rupees are being spent. This is one example, Arish, that we're looking at how RSI is using to try and destabilize the valley.
Well, that's absolutely right. In fact, the Pakistan link of the separatists has been established long back. And how Pakistan is fomenting trouble in Kashmir, that's not some hidden secret. So, by recovering these cell phones from the Baramulla jail, and the numbers, some of the numbers are definitely from Pakistan. This is what our sources in police are telling us, that these separatist leaders in Baramulla jail were in touch through social media with their Pakistani handlers. So, once again, the Pakistani involvement in separatist activities, the involvement of Pakistani militancy-related activities in Kashmir has been established. So this is not a hidden secret anymore. So yes, the police is now trying to establish how the separatists who are lodged in jail are still active. Despite them being in the jail, they are still handling their people outside the jail and also are in touch with their handlers in Pakistan.
Right, about this Baramulla jail, Arish, what is it that's now being done to safeguard the premises even more? Because you are telling us that, of course, there are about 12 police officers who are under the scanner too. But immediately after this particular network has been busted, we're looking at these cell phones, incriminating documents, separatist literature, all that has been found from these leaders inside. Masrat Alam, of course, is the same man because of which we saw the unrest in the valley in 2010 as well. What are the immediate steps being taken now at the police station? Firstly,
the vigil around the district Baramulla jail has been that has been increased, and all the officials of the jail, those are being scrutinized. And also we are told that there is also a plan to install jammers, mobile jammers inside the jail. And if there is a probability of smuggling the phones inside the jail in near future, those won't work. Also, the police is also looking into how if the mobile phones were smuggled into the jail, how was the internet available on those phones. So those are the measures now the police and the jail authority are taking jointly, and we are told that jammers may soon established in the district jail Baramulla, so that phones, if smuggled inside the jail, those won't work from now on.
Well, Arish, this Baramulla jail, can it be said that this is one of those centers through which Pakistan actually is operating? Why I say that is because when 14 cell phones have been recovered, links to Pakistan there on the contact list of these telephones, as you're also informing us, because of which we're looking at how the youth is being instigated via these separatists. It will be an extremely worrisome news. Are there any other such jail, such prisons across Kashmir that have to be now looked into?
Well, yes. In fact, one of the biggest jails in Kashmir Valley is Central Jail, Srinagar. But there are no such any such reports so far. But yes, after the recoveries made from the district jail Baramulla, the jail authorities and as well as the police will definitely go for a crackdown in the Central Jail as well. And also there are smaller jails spread all over the Kashmir Valley. In the districts there are smaller jails where the separatist leaders, people involved in stone pelting incidents, people involved in militancy related incidents, those are jailed there because they have to be present in the district jails. So it becomes very convenient for the jail authorities as well as the police to ferry them from those district jails to the concerned district courts. So now it's assumed that the jail authorities and the J&K police will go for a massive crackdown in all the jails of the Kashmir Valley and to try to find out if such cases are there and if the phones have been smuggled in other jails as well.
All right, Arish, we'll leave it at that for a moment. Thanks very much for joining us with those details.